Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big news coming out over here from quite a few different things. And I think every single day looking a little bit more and more like Goku, which is not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But we actually have some huge news coming out from Sony with some really big court leaks in regards to their basically back end and backroom deals going on. And that's why they're trying to maybe save a lot of these big Call of Duty type style deals really heavily. I'm going to talk about that. And as well, finally, after all this time, we do have a brand new PlayStation event that's coming as of this week. Although, once again, some folks are a little bit skeptical on it because it's not as big as we're expecting, and it may also seem like we're waiting for a lot more coming out, maybe like a big summertime E3 type style event. So we're going to talk about that, talk about what we're expecting, and talk about these backroom deals, which I think is very intriguing because if you guys missed it, earlier on today, as of literally the wee morning of the hours, 2 a.m., we saw that Microsoft and Nintendo actually made a proper 10-year deal to now go and push Call of Duty and all these other various games on the platform. Now, we knew of that proposal, but I think as of right now, the deal is essentially finalized if this big deal goes through. So we're going to talk about that, talk about everything else, and let's do it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, Target Amazon links down below, and let's dive in the video. So first and foremost, we'll probably start off with the State of Play stuff, just to get that over the way. It's over with it. But basically, the new State of Play arrives this Thursday, featuring Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which I'm probably going to get yelled at for YouTube for even having that title. So in case you guys do want to check it out, we'll maybe just give you guys a recap or re-upload it or whatever on the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to, be on the lookout for that. But basically, the State of Play is broadcast this Thursday, February 23rd at around 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. EST, and a little bit later on at night for the European folks. But it might be a shorter one, so if you guys are European, you guys can maybe stick around for that. But it's also some folks have been a little bit skeptical on it. As you guys can go and see, they're going to do a little bit of some third-party partner updates. So maybe Final Fantasy, or maybe some smaller, mid-tier AAA games. Hopefully, we're looking for something more to pad out throughout the rest of the year. We also have a lot of the PlayStation VR 2 reveals, which, as you guys know, those are currently being shipped out. People are finally getting their hands on. We'll have a huge wave of PlayStation VR 2, something pretty soon. And as well as also an in-depth look as well for the upcoming Suicide Squad game. So State of Play returns with its first show of 2023. Get ready for some new looks and some anticipated games from our third-party partners, as well as we first glimpse at 5 PlayStation VR 2 games set to arrive later this year. Then selling for more than 15 minutes of an all-new gameplay details and updates on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the next game from Rocksteady Studios. So we know it's going to be coming over here soon. We're going to have it up on Twitch and YouTube as well. And it's cool, so you can go stream it. We'll maybe go re-upload it on YouTube or talk about it. Although PlayStation VR 2 is kind of whatever. And then same thing too with Suicide Squad. It looks good. I'll probably play it myself. I'm not against it. But we'd have to see. We'd have to go and see. But anyway, kind of cool stuff to go and see this one. This is now finally confirmed. We'll probably be having a little bit more of a bigger event soon. Maybe sometime around the summertime to pad out maybe 2024, which is weird to even say, or throughout the rest of the year. And we also might see some updates too for Final Fantasy and some other mid-tier games. We'll see. I'm not expecting too much from this one, but it has been rumored for quite some time. Now, a bigger thing I want to go talk about over here is Sony. Now, as you guys know right now, this big Xbox Activision acquisition has been heating up a storm. A lot of folks are kind of watching with a very classy eye. I believe today and throughout these next probably week or so, we're going to have some huge determinations on if this deal is going to happen, if they can work in a deal with Sony and everything else. So with this, we are now actually seeing big leaks that Sony is apparently taking a discounted margin on the Call of Duty sales and earnings on the PlayStation platform. So Sony actually takes a discounted margin on Call of Duty sales and earnings on PlayStation and actually goes and gives Activision an even larger revenue cut at the UK regulators that the CMA have actually found out. Now, in case you guys are curious on what that means, I'm sure you guys understand from me just reading it, is that, say, you go and get 10% of every sale of Call of Duty game by hosting it on PlayStation or Xbox. Well, maybe that's the default of what you have on Steam or maybe Nintendo or Xbox or whatever. PlayStation's yo, this is one of our bigger games. We want the pre-orders. We want people playing this. We want our multiplayer and PlayStation Plus being as active as possible. We want people playing and buying Call of Duty. So Call of Duty, what can we do to have, let's say, an early beta, a week early, so we can kind of push pre-orders, right? People who have the PlayStation just go and play it, or just make sure it's locked on in, because if it's a 50-50, if they pre-order it on PlayStation, they'll probably go and, play it first. It's kind of just normal marketing, I guess, for lack of a better term. So this one is basically seems instead of having like a 10% flat, what they'd maybe do is say Xbox with no good exclusive deals. Let's say they're maybe doing like 5%, and that means that they're taking way less money, and Activision is making more money and incentivizing them to keep this close partnership with PlayStation itself. Now, this is, I don't think, ever been kind of public so far, and the CMA has just, well, leaked it. So Sony reportedly gives Activision preferential treatment due to Call of Duty's importance on the PlayStation ecosystem and existing marketing deals regulators have found. So basically, they have like this backroom deal, which is fine. Like, that's business. That's just working. That's whatever. They just got these backroom deals, and well, it's cool. I think it's nice. It's good marketing, good business. But at the end of the day, this is probably why PlayStation's even more against it. They're like, hey, we gave Activision a really good deal. We want them to go and keep this money. We want to keep this cash cow going. PlayStation is like the biggest platform for Call of Duty. That's why this has been such an ongoing like month upon months of drama between the two. Because PlayStation, they want it. I mean, if I was PlayStation, I'd want it too. It's a good deal. So Call of Duty remains the biggest hurdle that Microsoft and Activision are facing in regards to getting their merger approved. Regulators have thoroughly investigated Call of Duty's importance on the PlayStation and Xbox markets, and the general consensus is that the franchise has a significant and very real impact on both platforms. But as you guys can see with like backroom deals, Sony giving them more extra money, it may be a little bit stronger and may have to be relied on a little bit more when it comes to Sony, because they realize on how big of a cash cow it is. So that goes double for Sony, who enjoys the top spot in the console market by virtue of its strong hardware base and multi-billion ecosystems of products and services. In the recent filings, the UK regulators at the Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, have uncovered some interesting details regarding Call of Duty on PlayStation. And according to the CMA's appendices and glossary filing for the provisionary findings report, Sony actually gives Activision a higher revenue cut for Call of Duty game sales and earnings made on the PlayStation platform. So, big thing to note, the main assumptions underlying the SIE's model are the following. Sony Interactive Entertainment applied a third-party margin of like redacted percent for Call of Duty sales on PlayStation. So they have an individualized, specific deal going on with them together. As of right now, they have a backroom deal. They have like a big business partnership, and they're like, yeah, we'll go and like we'll promote you. We'll put you on the front page. We'll make sure you get like the early access. We'll get pre-orders. We'll make sure your games do well. We have a good deal. And then Sony also receives a margin then of a lesser percent from COD sales on PlayStation. And then Sony stated that it did not believe that the current discount margin would remain post-merger, given their main competitor will control ABK's content. Sony carried out a sensitivity analysis in which it assumed Sony receives a margin of normal margin on COD sales. It estimated that the critical switching rate when it becomes profitable for the merged entity to foreclose increases as well. So basically, I think the big wording for this in terms of lawyer talk is that since they have a better deal, they are not going to want to keep this. Like, they're like, hey, like we'll hook you up right now because it's kind of a win-win. It's like your buddy has like a car wash and you'll go drive by and like he'll hook you up. Like, you'll have a good time, but you still treat him well and you give him like a lot of good sales. It's just nice. You have like that good buddy-buddy partnership. But then let's go and say that same buddy goes and sells that car dealership to somewhere else. You're not going to care. You don't know the guy. You don't know if like his family's going to bring over you like a nice lasagna after you go get a free car wash. No, you don't know what's going to go happen over there. So at that point, you cut that deal. And that's what Sony wants to do. They don't want to maintain this weird contract law they have with them. They want out if Xbox somehow goes and gets this deal. But at the same time, they've also been kind of doing like a lot. Like, they've been trying their best to give proper margins and give better money. And they've almost kind of earn it. A lot of folks are kind of like skeptical on Sony doing this in terms of like them trying to keep the pre-orders and the early betas. But if this has been true, which it seems like it is from legal court documents from the government, they have actually been working extra hard to make sure that these deals stay consistent. Like, they have earned it. They put the money, they put in the contract, and they have the better, like, worse percentage of sales and profits compared to Xbox. So, I mean, in all honesty, with this information coming out, I almost feel like Sony is, well, like, I don't know, like it's gonna be weird for them to go and see, because we're kind of seeing rumors that Sony is maybe okay sending off on the deal. We've been hearing rumors about like flights late at night to try to see if this actual like embargo ship can actually go through, and so far it's so up in the air that literally no one knows. But these leaks are intriguing because it does actually once again kind of support Sony's cause a little bit more. So Sony is said to take a discounted margin on Call of Duty earnings made on PlayStation, which implies that a standard 70-30 split is not in place for Activision, so it's a little bit higher too as well, and that's like the usual rule of thumb when it comes to numbers. So basically be like, yeah, basically like 70% of all earnings for that for the publishers, and then Nintendo, Microsoft, Steam take 30%. The exact ratio between Activision and Sony remains unclear because it was redacted. Steam, for example, gives top earning games a bigger slice of revenues. For example, if a game earns between 10 and 50 million, then Valve lowers this revenue cut, also called royalties, to 25%. It's kind of like, hey, we want you to keep on making games on Steam and giving us money, so keep working on this. So I gotta want to know what you guys think, because these numbers are crazy to see, and these backroom deals have been apparently working. Same with the brand new PlayStation event. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and well, all the Target Amazon links too as well.